Freedom March with Rodney Munker. Up next on ILTV.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of ILS or the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a product of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented, in part or entirety, without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2024. All rights are reserved.
Marijuana is a dangerous drug.
The Queen is dead! God save the King!
There can never be rape in marriage. BMW sound like bad mad wagon. Not only am I saved, I'm saved and sanctified. The revolution is alive, and we must continue to document it.
Freedom!
Broadcasting live from the ILTV studios located here at University Drive. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the local Catholic Christian community. Today is Tuesday, the 4th of February, in the year of our Lord 2025. Ricardo walks. He's a police sergeant, and he's the chairman of the Police Staff Association. And it is alleged that he issued a directive to officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and I find his directive to be horrible. And I shall call on that sergeant to revoke that letter and fall in line as an officer and a gentleman of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Notwithstanding what the traitors may do, the police is to be above politics. And I do not wish to accuse that sergeant of being political. But I'll have no problem in doing it if he does not surrender lawfully. So these are some of the things that I must deal with today. A Negro woman living in the nation's second city has alleged that she cannot find any high blood pressure pills. So I want her to know that I now have an official position on high blood pressure pills, and I need her to send me a communication to tell me exactly what kind of high blood pressure pills she was looking for and she could not receive. So these are some of the things that are happening in the country as games are being played. So I'll have the lady to know that I'm working with her. I want her to have her high blood pressure pills, but I do not want any trick. After all, I'm the leader of the people, and I do not wish to be misled. I'll be right back. This is Freedom March. God save an independent Bahamas. God save the King. Hold on, everybody. The spiritual advisor is in the studio. We'll be right back.
Freedom March with Rodney Munker will be right back after this. is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, my spiritual advisor is Bradley Roll. Bradley's in the studio, and of course, he's ready to spread the gospel. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you. Good to be here, Sandra. Good to
And
be
how
here.
are you today?
Doing well.
This
Doing
is
well.
powerful.
Thank you.
Well, behold, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Thank you so much. Today we're going to go to the book of Matthew. We're going to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 15. Jesus, of course, is discussing some vain worship. This verse prior to number 10, where Jesus instructed them and told them that people were teaching for doctrine the commandments of man, but the question here was about unwashed hands, whether or not it could defile if you decide to eat. So Jesus called the crowd to him and said, listen and understand, what goes into someone's mouth does not defile them, but what comes out of their mouth, that is what defiles them. And then the disciples came to him and asked, do you know that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this? He replied, every plant that my heavenly Father has not planted will be pulled up by the roots. Producer? And leave them, Jesus says, they are blind guides. If the blind lead the blind, both will fall into a pit. Peter said, explain the parable to us. Are you still so dull? Jesus asked them. Don't you see that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and then out of the body? But the things that come out of a person's mouth comes from the heart, and these defile them, which is, from out of the heart comes evil thoughts, murder, adultery, sexual immorality, theft, false testimony, slander. These are what defile a person, but eating with unwashed hands does not defile them. Book of Matthew, chapter 15, 10 to 20, read from the NIV. The word of God is forever and ever blessed. Amen. Thank you, producer. Back to you, Sandra.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. Well, it is a privilege to welcome each and every one of you who's joining me and my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll. There are some exciting things happening in the country, and of course, we are heading into political season, and there are a lot of political mischief that is being played, and we have a duty to flush it out and get everybody to be honest and honorable. I have received today a call from one of the women them who resides in the second city, that's Freeport, Grand Bahama. She has alleged that throughout the government health facilities, she is unable to find high blood pressure pills. And of course, she seems to be concerned about the many pressures that exist, and she's concerned about her pressure. And she's asked me to speak with the health minister, Dr. Michael Davile. So I was happy to speak with Dr. Michael Davile, who has advised me that there is high blood pressure pills on the island of Grand Bahama in the health system of the Bahamas, but there are times when a specific, perhaps a particular name high blood pressure pills is not available. But there are many other substitutes. So for instance, if you wanted a particular brand that is not available, you let the doctor know, and the doctor will give you a substituted brand and tell the brand that you prefer is imported into the country. So I want that lady to know that she has nothing to be afraid of. She's directed, and I'm acting on the authority of Health Minister Dr. Michael Davile to go back to her doctor. Let her doctor know that the particular brand is not available and to substitute another brand. So I think it's powerful. Meanwhile, the same woman, she is concerned about housing repair, And of course, it is expected that I shall soon hear from the minister responsible for housing and urban renewal, that is the Honorable Keith Bell. I was so preoccupied on the Eastern Road that I was unsuccessful in contacting Keith Bell. However, I was successful in contacting the minister responsible for health. That's not Dr. Michael Darville. My spiritual advisor, have you heard any talks about high blood pressure pills not being available on the island of Grand Bahama?
No, I haven't heard that, but they're available on the island of Providence.
They are.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Well, this is powerful. Well, miss.
They're available here. What does she take?
Well, I did not ask her Pacific brand. I merely decided that I will pass her information on to the health minister, and I was so happy that the health minister saw the complaint as being very, very important, and he promptly responded to my queries.
Okay.
So I think it's powerful. Well, there seems to be something happening in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and I'm very concerned about whether or not discipline is breaking down in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I want to start off by identifying a Negro man who is a big thing in the insurance industry. His name is Anthony Ferguson. Anthony Ferguson hails from Cricket Island. And I am very disappointed in Anthony Ferguson after all the PLP has done for him. The PLP has given him one of the biggest positions in this country, and when the money starts pouring in, he is going to be a multi-millionaire. You see, only me going to tell it to you, because I've been watching Anthony Ferguson ever since this PLP came to power, and I've watched the many great economic rewards that Anthony Ferguson is receiving. I'll give you an example of one of the blessings that the PLP has given to Anthony Ferguson. You may not be aware that Anthony Ferguson is now in charge of carbon credit. You must have heard about carbon credit and the billions of dollars that carbon credit is worth, and Anthony is in charge of carbon credit. And I'm jealous. So I might as well be honest with you. Ever since the PLP put him in charge of that, I was very, very jealous, and I had to pray. Many nights I prayed. I said, Lord, you mean to tell me that the PLP is going to make Anthony Ferguson a multi-millionaire again? But he's in charge of credit, carbon credit, and from what I'm hearing, carbon credit is scheduled to produce millions of dollars, perhaps billions of dollars, because as you are aware, here in the Bahamas, we have not burned many carbon, and we are in a position to sell carbon, apparently. In fact, that is what Anthony Ferguson has convinced the country that he has to give to sell carbon credit. Well, you may not be aware that Anthony is the director of Kalina Insurance. Anthony has also had a big position in the National Insurance Board. And they give him some big position out west, down by the airport dam. So all he got is big position. But he's not sympathetic to the PLP government. I mean, something got to be wrong with that. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Today, the chairman of the Police Staff Association, Sergeant Ricardo Walks, he issued a memorandum to officers in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And listen to me, when I received notice of his memorandum, I happened to be on the Eastern Road, and I was so shocked, I was so stunned, that I almost could not continue with that wonderful mission that I was on the Eastern Road. Everybody knows that it is not often that I go to the Eastern Road, particularly since the late Norman Solomon has died, all right? And Jeffrey John Stone, the County Joe members of the FNM. But what is this Ricardo is instructing the police to do? And I want to know if he has consulted with the new female commissioner of police, or is he pushing this agenda because the commissioner of police is a woman? If he's doing this because she's a woman, then I shall accuse him of misogyny, because certainly I doubt he would have done that if the commissioner of police was a man. But for the commissioner of police to be a woman, and he's doing what he's doing, I am disappointed in Ricardo Walks, and whenever I see Sergeant Walks, I'm going to let Sergeant Walks know that I believe he's a picky-teeth Montobi. He's nothing but a frying pan. And I call on him to tell the police to work hard and ignore Kalina Insurance, because if the police is working and they fall down and broke their leg, the government got the Princess Margaret Hospital, and the government got the hospital, and we have all kind of consultants who could take care of the police. Now, why is Anthony, the director of Kalina, why is Kalina putting pressure on the police and telling the police that the government ain't paying the insurance? Why are they doing that? To the extent that police are now being told not to catch criminals, not to do anything that would put them in danger. Something is fundamentally wrong with that, and I call on the Commissioner of Police and her two deputies to meet with the chairman of the Police Staff Association and his executive board and tell them they must encourage the police to work until such time as we could pay Anthony and Kalina the $100 million. And I think the government shouldn't pay him a dime, because after all, they are running the carbon credit. And since Anthony convinced the government that there are billions of dollars in the carbon credit, he should take his $100 million out of the carbon credit money.
Now, that's being irresponsible.
Go ahead, Mr. President.
Senator. I mean, you understand how insurances go.
Well, tell me.
Especially if you work for big, large organizations. And insurances are there too, especially medical insurance. And of course, the police would be those folks who would need this insurance in the event of an emergency, accident, or even death. So if the government does owe insurances on policies that is agreed to pay Kalina, the government should pay. He sent in a letter advising staff that, you know, it's a risky thing for them being on the job, and of course if something happens to them, there's no insurance for them to get whatever medical attention or benefit that they may need. But while he has done that, the deputy leader of the Free National Movement, Sean Norn Cartwright, has issued a press statement to chastise the government over its alleged mishandling of insurance policies for members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. As crime continues unabated, and
I don't want to hear.
Let me just finish this off, man. This thing gotta be balanced, man.
No.
This has to be balanced.
No. Shenandoah is not a policeman. And the last time Shenandoah saw the police, you know where Shenandoah was? Sitting on the bench at the Central Detective Unit.
You like the muddy water?
Right?
You see that, right?
Essentially, Anthony Ferguson is the culprit when we take into consideration all the various boards that the PLP has him on. So when we take into consideration all of the boards that the PLP has him on, My God, he's in charge of carbon credit. That's billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. What is
So
the
you
name?
want him to take the carbon credit money and pay the police insurance?
Yeah. It's billions of dollars. When the PLP came to power, he told the PLP he can collect billions of dollars. Right? So if he is collecting billions of dollars and he claims that the government owes him $100 million, let him take it out of the carbon credit. Unless, of course, it's a lie that carbon credit can produce all that money. Over in Big Pond, in the Big Pond subdivision, the mangrove is flourishing. It's growing. And Anthony claimed that the mangrove in the Big Pond subdivision will produce billions of dollars. And by grab, they're now inciting the police to insurrection, because when the police refuse to catch the bad boys, that's insurrection. All right? So I don't want to hear anything. All right? I want the PLP to make Anthony resign, because Anthony has too many boards he's in charge of, and I haven't seen or received any accounting of the billions of dollars it is believed that he has collected ever since we introduced carbon credit, unless, of course, this is bullskate. So this is what we are up against. Anthony is the fella. Now, do you have comments on the police, or are you talking effing and propaganda?
So the government not making well on this commitment to pay insurances for police officers. You've turned this now as if this is Anthony Ferguson's problem.
Yes, because you don't know what the arrangements are. Anthony is baiting in national insurance, at least he was. Anthony is in charge of the government's multi-billion dollars carbon credit. You know how much carbon credit he's selling? Billions of dollars. Anthony even got the government to take on a whole Conky Joe woman who specialized in carbon credit. This is Freedom March. Anthony Ferguson, he should hang his head in shame and pay the insurance out of the carbon credit money. It weighed billions, according to Anthony. I got him. This is Freedom March. God save the King. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2020. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Munker, and there is a major controversy that has developed in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, where it appears that discipline has broken down. We're going to pay bills first, and then we will call on the police to reinstate discipline. Bradley, do we have bills to pay?
Yes, get ready for a night to remember. Alpha Sounds Promotions invite you to Back to Love, an unforgettable evening of smooth R&B vibes and cherished memories. Join us at the Nassau Cruise Port on Saturday, February the 15th for a spectacular all-white affair you won't want to miss. Featuring live performances by Freddie Jackson, Regina Bell, and the Essence Band. Tickets are available at BahamasTickets.com, Plantation Bar and Grill, Big Boys Cafe, Tropics Bar and Grill. For more information, contact 822-6863. That's 822-6863. So mark your calendar, dress in your finest white attire, and join us for a night of love, music, and pure elegance. Everybody, do you enjoy watching Freedom March? If so, please come and advertise your business with us for as low as $50. Contact us now at 557-0258 or 557-0259 for the Impact Package. Thank you, producer. It's all yours.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. There is a major controversy which has erupted in the King's Royal Bahamas Police Force, and discipline and law and order must be maintained in the police force. A memorandum sent to police officers by the chairman of the Police Board Association, Sergeant Ricardo Walks, must be condemned. Sergeant Walks knows that any police officer who gets himself in accident, before they can claim against the insurance with Kalina, they must first take advantage of the insurance that the National Insurance Board provide. So he did not point this out. If he raises the issue that the government ain't paid the insurance, and the insurance perhaps on the verge of collapsing, and police officers who are pursuing thugs, gangsters, murderers, rapists, and if they are harmed, there's no insurance from that insurance company, which is not true. He did not point out to them, have no fear, national insurance is here, and we have a courageous chairman of the National Insurance Board, and his name is Brother McKenzie. And I have you to know that Mr. McKenzie is married to my daddy's first cousin. And I'll have you to know that when it comes to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Philip McKenzie will take care of every police officer who is harmed in the course of carrying out their duties. But for Sergeant Ricardo Walks to be spreading idle propaganda, I'm disappointed in him. And he's always been my hero. How the heck? From hero to zero. Why is he playing politics? has he written a letter to the Ministry of National Security telling them that the insurance has collapsed? Or has he written a letter to the new female commissioner of police and her 2 male deputies? There's no evidence of him doing so, and I accuse him of misogyny. This is misogyny. Misogyny must be condemned, and I'm condemning him for misogyny. I'm condemning him for not being respectful to our new female commissioner of police, and I'm condemning him for not lodging a formal complaint with the Ministry of National Security, but instead playing in the hands of the FNM. That mustn't happen. Don't do that. We are FNMs. We shouldn't do that. You're looking for lies to put on the PLP. If you're going to put something on the PLP, you make sure it's true. It can't be lies. It can't be propaganda, because the PLP is going to be upset, and they're going to recognize it's game being played by the FNM. So this is what is going on, and I'm very upset with Anthony Ferguson, because Anthony, like me, we are FNMs, but we went PLP in this last election. Anthony went PLP, I went PLP, but both Anthony Ferguson and I, we are 2 FNMs, and we should be honest. We should not lie, and we should encourage the police to work. I call on every police to continue to maintain law and order, and your country will forever remain proud of you. And any police officer that is injured in the line of duty, this government, this Ministry of Health, this Minister of National Security got y'all back. Take it from me. I know, okay? I'm in contact with the government, and the government has assured me that they have the back of the police. And everybody know the government wouldn't dare to mislead me. Other than that, okay, so the government. So I don't want the police to play no game. So I want Sergeant Ricardo Walks to immediately write a letter to the Ministry of National Security, putting in writing his complaint. And then I want him to meet with the new Commissioner of Police and her 2 male deputies and apologize for what I call insubordination. I mean, I'm upset. And everybody know that when it comes to the Walks, I love the Walkses. I find them to be some wonderful people, but I don't know what got in Ricardo. Oh boy, I always thought that Ricardo Walks was safe, but it appears to me that he is slipping. Now, my spiritual advisor, are you commenting on the police, or are you pushing FNM propaganda today?
No, we move on.
You have no more comments on that?
No, sir.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
No, sir.
What do you want to talk about?
No, sir. You can go ahead, man. You go ahead.
It's amazing, eh? It's amazing. You see what politics does?
I see what's happening,
The
man.
spiritual advisor.
I can be quiet, man.
The spiritual advisor is a man of
Let me
God.
listen, and let me be slow to speak.
Yeah.
You see?
It's time you learn to listen
That's it.
and be slow to speak.
Yeah.
And listen
And slow to become angry.
And slow to become angry.
Yeah.
If you're claiming...
That's what you need to do, too.
I'm never angry.
You always...
No. I'm never angry.
Yeah.
I speak loudly because I'm proud to be a Bahamian. All right? But I'm never angry. And there's no hatred in me, for I love the people.
Why would this police officer do this in this fashion that could possibly cause issues for him? Why would he do this? Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Why would he do this?
Why would he do this?
Don't you see why?
Knowing that there's a possibility there could be repercussions to his actions. Why would he be this blatant and bold?
And irresponsible.
And forthcoming.
And irresponsible.
And open.
And irresponsible.
You could call it that if you want to.
Can you imagine?
Well, let's see how this goes, though. Let's see what happens.
Can you imagine?
Isn't the government going to release a statement shortly?
Can you?
Isn't the police force going to release a statement shortly?
Can you imagine?
Sorry?
Can you imagine?
Isn't somebody going to release a
Can
statement
you
shortly?
imagine, Negro?
Isn't a statement going to be
I
released
don't
shortly?
know. If you have a statement, the same way you have Shenandoah Cartwright's statement, call the ministry and ask them if they have one.
Let's see where this goes.
One would have thought
Something
that
ain't
if the
right.
police issue a statement, the first people you would want to hear from is the government. But no, you want to hear from a shadow,
The opposition.
the shadow.
They're the government as
And the
well.
last time
they're part of the government, eh?
Last time we saw a
They
shadow,
are a part of the
the
government.
last
right?
time we saw a shadow, it disappeared. We're in trouble in this country. It's so disappointing how they're trying to politicize the Royal Bahamas Police Force. It's just amazing, you know? I want the police to be disciplined, okay? If you think there's a problem with the insurance, could you not write the ministry? Could you not inform the Commissioner of Police? Could you not write the Minister of Finance? Could you not write the State Minister responsible for finance? Could you not do that? That is how you deal with it. You start off by writing the authorities. Then, should that collapse, you can then run your game. But you start off by playing politics, it must stop, man. It must stop. See, there's nothing wrong with being F&M. I'm F&M. I'm proud to say it, but I try to cut it straight. All right? I want policemen to know that. There are many of us who are F&Ms, okay? And Monroe has been giving y'all all kind of promotion. Now y'all stop it before I tell Monroe to stop promoting all these F&M and give some PLPs and some COI. Is it COI? Some
Coalition of Independents?
yeah, give some of them. Because I run into a policeman who tell me he's COI. I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. So this is powerful. You finished with this, right?
Yeah, let's move on, man.
You want to move on?
Yeah, let's...
Can I say Anthony Ferguson some more?
He isn't to blame for this. I mean,
Okay.
let's just leave that alone, man.
Anthony Ferguson is not to
Leave
blame.
that alone. Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, no, you know, me and him used to work together.
You and Anthony work together.
We worked with Tracy Mann Bank back in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah.
So you know he's a banker,
Yeah, he is.
And you know
brilliant.
he's-
He's a brilliant guy.
and you know he's in charge of over $5 billion worth of carbon credit.
Well, I know he's been affiliated with Kalina, but
You mean to tell me you're not aware that he's in charge of the Bahamas
could be.
carbon credit?
yeah, he could be.
Oh, my spiritual
yes, he could
advisor.
be.
This is
Anyhow, but just leave him
horrible.
alone. We can move on.
Yeah. Okay. So, the spiritual advisor wants me to move on.
Yeah, leave him alone.
And I think I'll look at some other information. Let me take this phone call. This might be who I think. Hello? Is,
Put me on TV on the speaker.
okay, you're on speaker. Go ahead. Go ahead.
How are you talking?
Go ahead. You F&M?
Yep, solid F&M.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Brother Roll, how are you?
I'm fine. How you doing, sir?
You know, before Dr. Dwayne Sons came on yesterday, I was going to vote PLP. But after Dr. Dwayne, I must accommodate Dr. Dwayne Sons the way he hold his head yesterday. Rodney Michael tried to ask him all kind of questions, and he rebutted it.
Yeah.
He rebutted it. Now
Yeah.
he talking about what the police thing. Now, the more he talk about the PLP, the more I vote F&M.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's what you said. That's what you said in the last election until you showed up with your PLP shirt. So,
And then you laughing at him. I couldn't stop laughing.
okay. Okay, Mr. F&M.
You got to change this.
Yeah. This F&M, he said the same thing, and then he showed up with Philip Davis' shirt on him. So, let's see what else we can talk about, because the spiritual advisor no longer wants to discuss this particular matter.
Yeah, that has to now play itself out. Let's see where it goes.
Okay. Well, I would want to hope that it does play itself out. Now, you would recall that we've had a number of social debate. I must return to the University of the Bahamas because something mediocre is taking place at the university. At the University of the Bahamas, during COVID, they all went online to educate the students then. They did a terrible job. Throughout our academic system, it was horrible, horrible. The FNM was in power. It is disgraceful that the University of the Bahamas, their online classes has come to a standstill. The students are not being educated. We have a problem where Alison Maynard has brought back the woman from Canada. She's already been here. She already had that job. But Alison brought her back, and she's been very mediocre. Very mediocre. So what has she been doing? She's taken our resources, and they've been holding idle conversation at the university. Marital rape is what they're discussing. Meanwhile, all the internet collapsed. Everything crashed. But they're talking about who is raping their wife when our students were sent to the university to get a higher education. So you would recall that last week I criticized them. They had 2 distinguished lecturers. They had the Attorney General, Senator Ryan Pinder, and they had Damian Gomez. And in the case of Ryan Pinder, he made it clear that the government is going to ignore all of this sinful argument about putting rape in holy marriage. And then, of course, Damian Gomez, he was so confusing, so I'm going to leave him alone. Now we have some women who are not saved, and they're now attacking the government. These are women who are not committed to submitting to man's rule, man's authority. And I'm going to speak in parable to one of the woman's biological relative. I want to say to him, you must talk to the woman. You must say to her, my niece, what you're doing is going to open uncle to political attack. Say it to your niece. Say, niece, I have committed some political mistake. And it is always possible that those political mistakes, the whole issue of it can come up. So you must speak with your niece, tell her to be kind to men leadership. Other than that, I'm going to have to raise your political inefficiency. And I don't want to do that because I think you have a good heart, but you need to talk to your niece, okay? She's not saved, she's not sanctified, and she does not respect man's authority. And she has to be whipped in line, okay? So I thought I'll say that to him. We had to talk parable. The country is so small, everybody's related, everybody knows one another, and depending on what you say, you know, people just get upset about it. So, my spiritual advisor, what reports are coming from police headquarters as it relates to statistical information on crime?
Well, I mean, it is saying that murders overall have increased by 10%. Well, no, by 9% in 2024.
It has increased.
In 2024. And
Okay.
crime overall has decreased.
Murders increased by 9%, but crime overall
By 10%. So I guess.
should we rejoice then? If murders
Well-
has increased by 9%, but crime has decreased by 10%,
No, there's nothing to rejoice about.
isn't that something to rejoice over?
No.
Okay.
You always got to look at the murders because that's what's really killing us as a people.
The murders.
Literally.
Okay.
But what I find to be interesting is the complaints against police officers.
What are the complaints?
Has just soared through the roof. Now, this is something to take a look at. Because what it actually does, it raises some serious concerns about what we may now call moral ethics.
Moral ethics.
Murder decrease? Hold on now, let me see something. What does this headline say? Police say overall crime. The headlines in The Guardian says murders rose 9% in 2024, and police says overall crime has decreased by 10%. Now, am I reading this right or what? So what is it? What's going on? Anyhow, let's see what The Guardian say. Murders shot up by 9% in 2024. It says shot up, not down, compared to the previous year. Although overall crime has decreased. But we'll get back to that. I saw a text coming in from a PLP. We'll get back to that.
Ignore the PLP and focus on what you're telling us.
Now listen, this is interesting. Complaints against police officers have shot up, and this is crazy. And this is something that has to really, really be looked at by the Royal Bahamas Police Force. It says complaints against police has skyrocketed by 114%. 2024, that's last year, according to data released by the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Now, there were about 315 complaints against officers in 2024. Watch this now. 315 compared to 147 in 2023.
What were the complaints? What are the nature of the complaints?
That's interesting. So let's read on and see
What are
if
the
we
natures
can make
of the
some
complaints?
sense right here. So,
Because, go ahead.
now, it breaks it down by saying complaints from civilians, I guess, against police officers rose by 79%.
What are the complaints? What did the
This doesn't list.
civilians say?
This doesn't list complaints, Sandra. I can only read what we see here. It doesn't break down what were these 315 complaints against officers. Now, I don't know if this, well, see now it's breaking this down, right? Complaints from civilians rose by 79% from 89 cases in 2023 to 159 in 2024. Now, internal police complaints, and I am thinking this means police complaining against another police officer. The internal police complaints jumped 170% from 15 cases in 2023 to 146 cases in 2024. Now, something is desperately wrong.
What do you think is
All right.
wrong?
We need
Are
to,
these
we need to take a look at the police force.
Well, let's look at the police force. Who
You know?
are the police? Are they
Yeah,
citizens?
they come from us. Yeah, they come
They're
from among
citizens
us.
of the
Yeah,
Bahamas?
they come among us.
Right?
Accusations of corruption against police officers rose by 150% last year.
What is the allegations?
Wow. From 4 cases in 2023
Spiritual
to 10.
advisor.
Yesterday,
How-
Commissioner of Police Chantal Knowles said the Royal Bahamas Police Force remains committed to greater transparency in the way it handles complaints against police officers. Now, what needs to happen is the Commissioner of Police now, they need to find a way to see if they could revamp the police college. And when they do their recruitment exercise, they need to do more either vetting or trying to see if they can find people who are really serious about being on the police force. Because I mean, when you look at this says some very, very shocking details about the behavior
What did they say the
of
police do?
officers. They're using a general thing.
Okay, so
they
let me be
haven't broken
general then.
those. They haven't broken down those complaints.
If the police arrest me, And depending on how hard he put the handcuff on me, I could end up lodging a complaint. If the police curse,
No, they didn't say that.
they didn't say
They-
anything
they didn't say
specific.
what that kind of-
I'm giving you an example of police.
I don't know if it'd be that petty.
Wow.
You know, because they do put it on.
What kind of people do we need to join the police force? Certainly, there is a policeman who's a pastor, right? But he's not saved. But the commissioner of police was fooled, having heard that this was a pastor. But pastor isn't saved. So one of the fundamental problems in the country is a lot of our citizens are not saved. So we need to teach more morality. We have to encourage parents to set better example, because the police come from among us.
Right, so we need better recruits.
Right?
With character, man.
Everything about the police is a reflection of the men and the women. I just was talking to the woman. She said, "This is Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. The police are your sons and daughters. You have to educate them. Take them to church. Pray for them. Teach them morality. God save the Royal Bahamas Police Force. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King."
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and during the adjournment, I had a 69-year-old grandmother who called me to complain over the fact that parents are doing everything to carry the children to church, and that as soon as they reach a certain age, they are refusing. And I won't give you all of the adjective that she used. Not that I can't give it to you, but I don't want to give it to you. But she has come up with a solution. She thinks that we have to start putting our knees in some of the backs of our sons and daughters. She thinks we're not beating some of them. And she says as soon as the girls then reach a certain age and start to put on shape, they might go to church one Sunday, and after that, you have difficulty. So her solution is we're going to have to start beating some of these children. So I don't know. I told her I'll tell the country what she says. So the 69-year-old mother say, all we doing is carrying these children to church. Say, but as soon as they reach a certain age, they want to play man, they want to play woman, they're looking for boyfriend, they're looking for girlfriend, and they ain't listening to what mama say. And mama thinks we should start beating them. So I'm going to think about it, and I don't know. My spiritual advisor, you ready for birthday?
Yeah, you got a couple of birthdays to do today. Gretel Delaveau. Happy birthday to the oldest daughter, Gretel Delaveau, who's celebrating her birthday today. It's coming from her mother, Gertline Dean, her husband, Rodman, sister Sheena Samitri, her nephew, Wentley, Luke, and Zaire, her aunts, Lillian, Annie, and Patricia, all the Deans, Delaveau, co-workers at the Customs Department, the Honest Baptist Church, and also Brother Jamal Strawn, MP for Nassau Village. So, Gretel Delaveau, happy birthday to you. Vernal Lyons, happy 84th birthday to Vernal T. Lyons. From his entire family, with lots of love and blessings, may God continue to guide you and protect you. Happy birthday, Vernal Lyons. And that looks like all the birthdays for the day.
Well, I join my spiritual advisor in wishing each and every one of you a happy, happy birthday and a happy, happy anniversary.
Right.
This is powerful.
Right.
Well, my spiritual advisor, when we took the adjournment, you would have overheard the 69-year-old grandmother who says that our children are not listening, no matter how you drag them to church, and she thinks that some of them we should start beating. And I just want to say to her, you think we could beat some of these 18-year-olds?
You'll never see that. You can't do it. They're too old at that time.
It's too old to beat
We
them?
need to get the second page.
Okay. And she thinks we should start putting our knees in the backs of our daughters. But I want to warn her that as soon as you start beating these young people, the human rights group is going to accuse you of human rights abuse. They're going to tell you that you have no right to tell your children who to like or to love. But I support you. I say, let's drag them to church, and if they don't want to come, if they're being rude, I say we should take off our belt and beat them. What do you think, my spiritual advisor?
When you don't do a good job bringing them up, when they start, at least when they get 18, 19, it becomes a bit more difficult. It's something you should have embedded in them from they were, a bit younger.
Okay.
Train the child when he's young,
Okay.
not old.
Okay.
That's the best way to catch them when they're young. Now, I got a text from a very concerned customer of a particular bank. And it does seem as if bank fraud is on the rise. I know that the banks try their best to put certain safety features in place to make sure that when you do use your debit or your credit card or or if your information is somehow placed out there, it is out there, and someone decides that they're going to grab it and use it. But I'm trying to figure out, this person says that they have their account with a local Canadian bank here in Bahamas, but somebody in Trinidad was able to access $1,000 off their account. Now that's a major concern.
How that could be a major concern? They may have been to Trinidad. I never went to Canada.
They didn't go to Trinidad, Senator. They're still here in the Bahamas.
I never went to Canada.
And this transaction went
and the
through.
Canadian keeps stealing my money.
Okay, sorry.
So you see what kind of man you are?
Sorry.
I gave you the evidence where
All right.
Commonwealth Bank sent for me, and they told me somebody in Canada bought bear with my money. And that is why they closed the account down. They have to give me a new number.
How did they get your information?
I don't know.
You ever been to Canada?
Never been to Canada and don't want to go to Canada.
Why not? It's a beautiful
Because
place.
I'm hoping to go there when Canada becomes the 51st state of the United States.
You'll never see that.
Okay,
You'll
so
never see
I'm
that.
never going to Canada.
Yeah.
But the Canadians steal my money every other couple of months. In fact, Commonwealth Bank has asked me to come to them from last year. I refused to go because I said to myself, I really don't want to go to Commonwealth Bank for them to tell me that the Canadians thief my little money. All right, watch what is happening. I think the Registrar General, and I stand to be corrected, issue a statement saying that there was a specific method that she would be insisting that members of the public pay. Right? But notwithstanding that the Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell has argued that banks and other agencies should collect Bahamian dollars. They allow the FNM to amend the law where people could insist that you pay with credit card or debit card. When, years ago, Section 14 of the Central Bank Act made it clear that legal tender was dollars and cents. Now they insist you gotta have credit card. Guess why they want you to have credit card? Guess why they want you to have debit card? Because there is a lot of stealing taking place. That's what's going on. And nobody is interested in the welfare of the Bahamian people, whereby you can say if you have a credit card, you can pay. If you have a debit card, you can pay. But if you have cash, you can also pay. So it's one big robbery taking place. They're thieving every day. The banks are dishonest. I'll give you a story. Michael Alketas, the state minister for finance, asks the Bank of the Bahamas to assist me because I have a particular handicap. Do you know those Negroes, after over 1 year, they have refused? And I smile. Now the good thing about it is I am guided by the principle that they robbed the former Governor General, His Excellency Arthur Hanna, of $50,000. See, I'm aware of that. And although Michael Alketas asked some of the biggest people in the Bank of the Bahamas to assist me, you know they have not done it, so I left it alone. All that I do is I remember every time I walk into the Bank of the Bahamas, any branch, I say, now, they stole $50,000 from Arthur Hanna. And Arthur Hanna is more educated than you were. He went to London. He's a London trained lawyer. But they stole $50,000 from the Honorable Arthur Dion Hanna. Huh? That's what goes on in the country. Nobody wants you to say it. But that's what goes on. So it's one big rip-off. So we run on about what the police doing. All of us is a bunch of gangsters. All right? All of us is a bunch of crooks. And that's what's going on. Now you can't rob the bank. You rob the bank, the commissioner of police will send all the men after you. Okay? But the bank rob you every day. It's just robbery, robbery, robbery. Can you imagine? Never been to Canada, never applied to go to Canada. But the Canadian thief my money every other year. And why does that happen? Because somebody insisted that I either have to have a credit card or a debit card. And if I have none of them, Canada would have to come to the Bahamas to rob me. That's what goes on in this country. Okay? So they're thieving your
but the
friend
reality,
money.
the reality is you have to learn to really safeguard your personal information.
How do you safeguard your
Well,
personal
let me give you an
information if
example.
you never been to Canada?
Yeah, well, let me get-
I never bought
Yeah.
nothing from Canada. I never ordered nothing online from Canada. I don't know how Canada get it.
So you must have been somewhere, either to an eatery or out to a restaurant somewhere. And let me tell you what I think may have happened, because I've seen this happening, and I wonder if folks realize how dangerous this could be. There's a certain place that I go, and they have a method of payment. You can pay cash or you can pay card, but they're shut off from you by a wall and a partition. So if you want to pay cash, you have to push your cash through. And if you want to pay by card, you actually giving your card to a person on the other side. You can't see what they're doing. You can't see how they're processing your payment. But all you know is they will return your card and a receipt to you. You should never let your card
Well, that
get
happens
out of your eyesight.
when you go to BPL.
You should never let
When
that
you go
happen.
to BPL, first of all, you're a tall man. So the little glass, you got to bend down. Right? Nobody has said, hey, this a 5'8" man, let's put the hole up here. You have to bend down. You pass them the card, you can't see what they're doing.
No, that's you should never do that. Allow them, because these
Then they
machines,
cut off the light.
No, that's right. The machines that they have now, the machines, what is called, producer. The machines are, what you call, wireless? The processing debit machines. Yeah, so you can move them around. They can come around to the front to you, and you can actually process your payment and watch everything as it happens. When you give your card to somebody and they take it behind a barrier that you can't see, you don't know, somebody could be there taking a photo of your card.
Whatever they're doing,
And
I
that
just
could be a
give you
problem.
an example. Go
Yeah.
to BPL to pay light bill. And you got to bend down almost on your knees to talk to the cashier. You go to many business places. No one say we're going to build the little window where you could stand up and talk to the person. So you are placed at a disadvantage. And there is no consumer protection agency who inspect building and say, we shouldn't do it like that.
Now, what I see Water and Sewage has done that makes a lot of sense. Maybe not only Water and Sewage, but other places do it as well. When you go to pay your bill at Water and Sewage, right, they have the debit card machine on the outside where you are. The cashier is behind a protected and enclosed area, and they would feed into the system, excuse me, sir, how much are you paying? So I say, I'm paying $250. They say, okay, you paying cash or by card? Oh, I'm paying by card. Okay, just one please, sir, right? And so they feed the amount in the computer, and it comes up on the card system. Okay, could you insert your card, please, and put in your PIN number? So there you are basically protected.
That isn't true.
Yeah, you can see the...
That isn't true.
Yeah, man.
That isn't true.
You can see the amount.
I went
right?
with a Negro
Then
man.
You can push your card in.
Let me
put your
contradict
PIN
that.
in, process your payment.
Let me contradict that.
Take your card out, and they give you a
I
receipt.
went with a Negro man to purchase what them Japanese food named everybody's be buying.
Sushi.
Sushi. Right? He said, Manka, you want
You
sushi?
better get raw fish.
So I asked him, what is sushi? So after he didn't tell me what it was, I said, okay. The next thing I know, they start to process his card.
How?
The same way you described.
Yeah, the machine is outside. So
And
you
a
can see it.
Negro man walked up to him and said, sir, let me show you how they can get extra money.
How?
I'm not going to tell it to you on TV. And he showed the fella how they could thief extra money.
I'd like to hear that.
All right? So these things.
Yeah, that's a way to protect yourself, man.
So
there has to be a way.
No. The law should be where if I show up with dollars, you take my dollars. You don't insist that I have to pay you with a credit card because they're robbing you. I got in that row with Allison Maynard when I was in the Senate. She say I need a card because when I go to Miami, I can need a car.
Yeah.
I say, Allison, I don't go to Miami. I don't need no card in Miami. She insisted that I need a credit card because when I get to Miami, how I can get a car. And all I say to the Attorney General, Allison, I don't go to Miami. I don't need no credit card. She insisted. As she want dominate serious man them. So that's what we're up against. It is dishonesty. You go down to the airport, they're running another crooked thing down there where they make you buy card. It's gangsterism.
Okay.
So the consumer's not being protected. Here's my money. Now tough luck if you hire some thief. What I must do if the bank hire a thief? What I must do if a company got some thief waiting for them? Don't blame me. I give you the money. What you hire the thief for? Go find somebody who ain't gonna thief your money. But we don't protect the consumers. And that's why people are being robbed off. My sister, they robbed my sister for months. She goes to the bank and the money disappears off the bank.
Yeah.
But nobody look at us.
But cybercrime, it's just one of those things they're trying their best to control. But
You cannot control that. The only way you can control it is if you can pay your cash money. How much I owe?
But you know, Santa,
$50.
to be honest with you,
Here's the $50.
The world is moving away from that now. A lot of businesses don't really accept cash.
No. We're talking,
they only accept debit cards or credit cards.
No, we're talking about freedom of commerce. This is the means by which I, by law, should be able to pay. Don't tell me what the world moving away from.
It's the way the system is designed. I mean,
it's designed to rip us off.
Okay.
It's designed to rip us off. That is why when the workers got charged for thieving at the bank, I was happy to promote that. I want the police to keep releasing the names of every bank where they're ripping off the people so I could put it on TV. Because you can't rob the bank. You go in the bank and you rob the bank, you go into jail for a long time. But the bank rob you every other day. And you can't get CDU to go. You can't. When Canada thieved my money from Commonwealth Bank, I couldn't go to CDU and say, listen, I never been to Canada and Commonwealth Bank told me the Canadian thieved my money. And something gotta be wrong for me. Never been to Canada. Don't want to go to Canada.
How much was it?
Huh?
How much was it?
It was enough for them to buy, must be $40 worth of beer.
Oh, so it's only $40 to took from you?
At that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
All
the
right.
bank reimburse you? They should.
Well, I wasn't reimbursed.
No, they have to. They
They did not reimburse
So
me.
who investigated your account? There should have been an officer investigating your.
Well, the people at Commonwealth Bank did not reimburse me. They told me it was the Canadian. All right? And all I did is curse out the Canadian in their bank.
Something ain't right, man. Something's not right.
What is not right?
That was not supposed to happen.
But that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
Twice. All right? That's what happened to me.
So did you change your card number? They should have
They
canceled that
changed
card
the card
and issued
number.
another card. Yeah.
And the new number they gave me, Canada thief the money again. The Canadians is thief.
Wow.
Huh? You don't hear what Trump say they're smuggling drugs over the boundary, over the border?
Yeah, that's gonna soon stop.
Huh?
Hopefully.
Anyway, these are some of the things that are happening in the world. Notwithstanding that, we must give God thanks. You know, it's a wonderful day. What are you eating today? What are you having for dinner?
Dinner? No,
Yeah.
I'm done with dinner, man.
Really?
Yeah, I had some pretty good food, but It's rather filling, so I don't need to worry about no dinner tonight.
What did you eat?
I had some BBQ ribs.
BBQ?
Yeah.
What's BBQ?
You never had BBQ ribs?
What's that?
Barbecue ribs, man.
Okay. Barbecue ribs.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty good.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
So it does seem as if during the police report that the sexual offenses actually fell.
What do you mean by
Okay.
the sexual offenses
Well,
fall?
I guess assault and rape and whatever have you.
Rape is falling in the Bahamas?
Well, it seems so. So maybe a lot of women, their husbands are not raping them anymore, because that always seemed to be, I don't know. But they say sexual offenses fell.
Where? In the country?
In 2024, yeah.
In the country?
In the Bahamas, yeah. But that's a good thing.
In the country?
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So at least people are not committing sexual offenses. you know.
Okay.
But we're seeing some really strange ones happening over the last 6 months. But,
What's that?
I think the police officer was charged for soliciting sex from a minor.
Okay.
Then it seems as if some preacher, he was charged for soliciting sex from a 14-year-old, 13-year-old.
The pastor?
Yeah, you remember that one?
How old was the pastor?
I can't remember. He must have been in his 50s, eh?
15?
50s. I think he must have been in the 50s, and the girl was about, 13, 14, I think?
Really?
Yeah. I think that's what I remember.
How old was pastor?
Must have been in his 50s, eh?
It's disgraceful. I hate to see old people trying to have sex. I think it's despicable, and I think that old people should stop it. Do you know how many old
So when
people
you're
are having
50-year-old?
heart attacks?
So when you're 50-year-old?
All right? Anytime you're taking pills, you're old.
What kind of pills?
And enhancement pills.
Oh.
We've had many of our distinguished citizens, they're suffering massive heart attack because they're taking pills. And they should listen to me. When you reach a certain age, you leave sex alone and you just hug and kiss. Just hug. Just hug the woman. Hold her hands.
Yeah, hugging
and hug
ain't
her.
enough for some fellas.
All right?
So,
And leave sex for younger people. As simple as that.
hugging is just not enough for some fellas.
Yeah,
eh?
well, you're going to suffer a heart attack, and then you can get charged for these, these things, I know there's a lot of temptation. I'm 68. There are many charming women who have accepted my leadership, but I have the words to rebuke them. The last woman who put question to me, I merely said to her, "Woman, do you not know that your body is the temple of the Lord, and you should keep it holy and pure?" And I rebuked her, and she walked away. She didn't sin, nor did I. And that's the way it should be done. What you think?
Indeed. Okay.
Yeah. So, what other topic you have?
Something very interesting has happened on the international scene, being reported.
This in the United States?
Yeah, in the United States of America.
Is it President Donald Trump?
Well, this apparently Marco Rubio
Yes.
says that El Salvador's president has offered to put U.S. deportees, including American criminals, in prisons. He's made an offer to accept them. So
Really?
So U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said late Monday that El Salvador's president
Yes.
has offered to accept and incarcerate deportees from the U.S. of any nationality,
That's powerful.
including criminals with American citizenship currently in prison
Really?
in the U.S.
Whoa! Trump! 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 Fight! 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 Trump! 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 Fight! 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 Trump! 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 Fight! 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 It's powerful! God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas! God save the United States! God save Donald Trump! Fight! 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 Trump!
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor. And Tanya is on the line. Hello, Tanya.
Good afternoon, Rodney Monker, and good afternoon, spiritual advisor. Tanya coming to you live from Shop Smart Department Store. Yes, we are in the clothing department because we have restocked and we still have our 5 for 25 pieces going on. So if you're looking for items for this Valentine's Day, you want to put on something casual, or if you're looking for something a little sexy, you can come on into Shop Smart because we've got you covered with all of our clothing, fully restocked, 5 for 25. So whether you're looking for jeans, or you're looking for pants, maybe you're looking for something cool and casual, whether you're looking for tops or for bottoms, or if you're looking for shirts or shorts, all you need to do is come on into Shop Smart and know that we've got you covered with everything clothing, whether you want just regular clothes, church clothes, or you want to get yourself some nice dresses, whether they're summer dresses or churchy dresses, Shop Smart has got you covered. You know, we're right here at number 122 Mackey Street. That's why we're known as the Miracle on Mackey. And yes, it is the home of the smart shopper, where we always tell you to remember to shop early, to shop often, and to shop smart. You can come and visit us anytime between Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for your shopping convenience, or just give us a call. Our numbers are 698-1051 or 698-1052. Somebody is always standing by to assist you. And you know, we say when you come into Shop Smart, you leave smiling, saving, and satisfied. Until next time, remember, shop early, shop often, and shop smart.
I thank you, Tanya. I thank you. Well, my spiritual advisor, you said that El Salvador is willing to take all criminals and illegal immigrants.
This is rather strange.
Only from the United States or from all over
any
the
country?
world?
It's a rather strange and unprecedented suggestion by the El Salvador. How do you say it now?
El Salvadorian
president.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at this quickly so we can open the lines.
Go ahead. Let me hear it.
Now, where am I? I have a member of the Church of Christ who fills me in on all the latest that's going on in the international world. Does an excellent job in keeping us abreast of all the news locally and internationally. Thank you, Jason. You're doing a great job, Jason. The U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said late Monday that El Salvador's president has offered to accept and incarcerate deportees from the U.S. of any nationality, including criminals with American citizenship, currently in prison in the U.S. President Nayib Bukele confirmed the offer in a social media post saying El Salvador was willing to rehouse deportees and American prisoners in a 2-year-old mega prison he had built as potent symbol of his crackdown on criminal gangs. Bukele has agreed to the most unprecedented, extraordinary migratory agreement anywhere in the world. Rubio said after meeting the Salvadorian leader at his lakeside country house, that's interesting, outside San Salvador for several hours, we can send them and he will put them in his jails, Rubio said of migrants of all nationalities detained in the United States. He also offered to do the same for dangerous criminals currently in custody and serving their sentences in the United States, even though they're U.S. citizens or legal residents. Now that's where we're going to run into a roadblock, because that's going to be challenged by the courts. If they're U.S. citizens, they're serving time in the U.S., to actually have to take them out of the United States and to another country, I think there's going to be some legal challenges with that. But Berkeley confirmed the offer in a post on X, saying El Salvador has offered the United States of America the opportunity to outsource part of his prison. Now listen to this. He's doing outsourcing.
Okay.
He said, "You want to outsource your prison? All right, let me be the one to do it." He said his country would accept only convicted criminals, including convicted U.S. citizens, into our mega prison, CECOT, in exchange for a fee. I figured that. He said, would be relatively low for the U.S., but significant for us, making our entire prison system sustainable. Elon Musk, the billionaire working with Mr. Trump to remake the federal government, responded on his X platform. Great idea. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
well,
That's very interesting.
I have no problem with that, but there are some people that I do not wish to be sent to El Salvador.
Suppose they send some Bahamians.
I do not wish for any Bahamians to be sent to El Salvador. No Jamaican, nobody from the Turks and Caicos, nobody from
The Caribbean.
Haiti, nobody from Jamaica. Okay? I don't want them to be sent to El Salvador. If you have to send them somewhere, I prefer you to send them to me. And I live in the Bahamas. And this is powerful. Go ahead,
All right,
open the line.
let's open the lines. And the numbers to call is 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775, 698-0776 to call us. Please don't forget, especially Mama, don't forget to turn your radio and your TV down. Turn all of it down before we engage you, or before you released to us by the producer. All right, so our lines are open. Call us so we can engage you. The numbers are 323-7775, 698-0775, and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Call Your Life.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well, I got some news, spiritual advice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very disappointed of you taking sides with your man of business on the left side of you. Because, you know, anything what goes south or sour, he goes behind. You see what's happening in America now? Trump lied in the campaign, like I was telling them, about all the issue they had for 2025. And all is coming out now. Because right now they have held up to the White House right now as I watch it on TV.
What's going on at the White House?
But boy, don't cut me off from him. Let me finish off.
I'm not going to cut you off, but what is happening at the White
I know
House?
what's happening. You just turn to your TV.
Listen to me.
You just turn to your TV when you get off the show.
Is the White House safe?
You're going to see what happened.
Is it
How in the world, because he helped fund the campaign, he is not elected by the people, and he have all the powers to fire so many people out of the White House, fire all those FBI agents.
Who?
Where you is?
I say who?
Who but your man of business?
President.
Who?
President.
Where you been?
President Trump?
Yeah, where you been?
He's making
America make America good again.
Yes,
what's it good again? See, you never been America in your life, so you speak.
That is
so
true.
you don't know what's happening. You can fly a race outside. I just to drag you over there and keep you over there.
Fight. Trump.
Yeah.
Fight.
The hell those poor people captured over there now.
Trump.
Huh? Or fight. Or use disgrace.
Trump.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you very much. Use the disgrace.
Trump. It's
all right,
amazing.
Take care of yourself, caller.
Yeah.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call Your Life.
Good day, Mr. Monica. How are you?
I am.
David, not fly.
Trump.
Yes, sir.
Fight.
One more time.
Trump.
Yes, sir.
Fight.
Man,
Trump.
Mr. Monica. Our man of business has already, the Eagle has landed, and he can stay there fast.
Yes.
Okay, what I really want to say real quick. Okay, but I don't know if you saw that from the San Fe React. They're showing this lady, the two ladies. Well, I don't know what the other one's reaction is, but this lady, that's more of an updated one. She's bragging about how she has, she's on an 8th child, and she was getting food stamps prior to that. She was bragging about how she has 7 children, she was 7 baby daddies, and getting $3,000 worth of food stamps. Now, you know, in America,
okay.
Trump, what he has recently done with his new administration, they have cut that down.
Okay.
And I am proud of him for that, because he is saying if you are of able body, you should be going to work. And that is for people, you know, who you have to prove your need for governmental assistance. My thing is, you know what $3,000 is in food stamps a month? And on the back of taxpayers, and you are bragging, and I think she also was saying how she didn't have to work, and she's getting all this food for her children, and she don't care, and don't be mad at her. And now they have one person, another girl, they cut hers down to must be $500, I think, in food stamps a month. She said that's not enough to take care of her and her one child. And we're like, girl, you could work.
All right, thank you so much, Shanika. Thank you. Let's do this birthday quickly. We want to wish a happy 67th birthday to this beautiful Carolyn Longley. Carolyn, you're 67? I can't believe it. Carolyn, I remember when I went to your 50th birthday. Now you're 67? Oh, wow, this is interesting. It's coming from your husband, Basil Longley, your sons, Basil Jr. and Baron, your daughter, Dr. Sherry Longley Thompson, your grandson, Alexander Mega Thompson, your son-in-law, Anton Thompson, family and friends. Stay forever young. I cannot believe you're 67. I cannot believe this. This is unbelievable. I just remember going to your 50th birthday just a couple of years ago. Now you're 67. Anyway, happy birthday, Ms. Longley. All the best to you. Of course, your husband loves you so much, Basil. It's coming to you from your husband, Basil Longley, your sons, Basil Jr. and Baron, your daughter, Dr. Sherry Longley Thompson, grandson, Alexander Mega Thompson, son-in-law, Anton Thompson, family and friends. Stay forever young. Happy birthday. We love you. All right, 323-7775 is the number to call. Hold on. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Joan Hilton. Joan Hilton is celebrating 80 years. Wow. Happy birthday, Miss Joan Hilton. It's coming from all your children, your family and friends, and all those who love you, okay? So happy 80th birthday to Miss Joan Hilton. Okay, 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March, Quality Life.
Spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful, and Senator Munter.
God save the king.
Yeah, see, spiritual, El Salvador, the president of El Salvador, he's a fearless man. That man said he took over from El Salvador. They used to have 7,000 raided a year.
What?
And that man cleaned that country right up. So, handling prisoners and criminals and gangsters, he's not afraid of that.
It doesn't seem so.
No, that is the reason why he says send them in, because he can make good use out of them. Prison is prison in El Salvador and places like that in Cuba. You understand?
Wow.
Now, Senator Munter, I have an action point for you, sir.
Go ahead.
I would like you to go to that prison up there and find out, all the gloves off today, man. Find out if the women inmates are nannying in buckets too.
Okay.
Please.
I shall.
Because that is disgraceful.
Okay.
They don't have no toilets up there?
And here the young fella, spiritual, got killed the other day when they were towing line to empty their slop bucket.
Man, why are we this, and then we try to figure out why when these guys come to prison, they know better when they go in. That is that's inhumane treatment, man. I mean, I know they're criminals and they're paying their debt to society, but man, at least give them a decent place to shower and to relieve themselves. Bucket, I mean, that's 1,000 years ago, man.
Spiritually, you know how long them slot bucket been in that prison?
Yeah, that's wrong, man. The government needs to do something
and
about
the
that,
word
man.
just meant to us when they put that on the news this week. The word.
Yeah, that's
inhumane,
man.
What did they put on the news this week?
They said that while an inmate was fatally stabbed, when they were towing lines to empty their usual daily slot bucket habits.
And where they throw that stuff?
Are you aware that the government has set up a machine that produces 10,000 dollars per day?
Yeah.
Goodness me, he's not listening. Hang up on him. The Negro isn't listening to me. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Yes.
Good day, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Monica, you are so right at the bank. You hit the nail right on the head. They are really ripping us off. I can give you an incident. A Canadian bank. I'm not going to call the name, but here it is that my limit is $5,000 per day because I'm a contractor.
Right.
But here it is, $16,000 went off my account in one day.
Wow.
And they telling me that I put my card out there for somebody to steal it. Nowhere in the world it's possible.
Wow.
What is happening is have to be somebody in the bank giving away information. The bank is ripping off the Bahamian people, and Central Bank is just sitting down not doing anything about it.
Wow.
I went into the bank and I had to sit in line for like almost 6 hours to get that cleared up for them to verify that it was stolen, and the money was stolen from me.
Disgraceful.
And Central Bank is not doing anything with these banks.
Yeah.
They have to do something. You can't help people in the bank for 2 and 3 hours standing up, and the bank manager is mad with you because you calling them to come help you.
Yeah, I know them. These people ain't safe.
Especially that they Central Bank have to put their foot down on these offshore banks. They just abusing the Bahamian people. They done charging us all kind of interest rate, and you gotta wait in the bank 3 and 4 hours to just get a check or whatever. When you reach to the teller, they tell you it's no good.
Yeah, I know what you're
We have
talking
to
about.
do something, man. Please, Mr. Montgomery.
Yeah,
Blast them. Don't let them get away with this.
I shall. They're a bunch of thieves.
Thank you so much, caller. Thank you.
I thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Gentlemen,
Yes. How are you?
I'm all right. Tell Mr. Montgomery, tell the young lady who's talking about blood pressure pills. All she needs to do is, if she needs a piece of aloe vera, some ginger, and a piece of garlic, and take the garlic and put it in the water in a prick, and that's the best thing for pressure.
Okay.
One piece of raw ginger in the morning, one piece, and soak the garlic in the water in the fridge and drink it. But everybody in the Bahamas to do that.
Now, how much?
And take a cup of that every morning.
Now,
One cup of that every morning, and you don't have to worry about taking no more pressure pills.
Yeah, but how
How
do you monitor your pressure though? You remember that?
Yeah, but
the science
you
gotta make
have
sense.
to get your pressure. You have to get your pressure machine.
Okay.
You get a pressure machine and you can monitor it.
Okay.
Spin the riser.
Okay.
You put it on your arm and that's it. And cut up the garlic, put it in the water, and every morning you take a cup full of that, and you're good to go. The ginger and everything, and just a piece of ginger in the morning on empty stomach or what have you, and drink the garlic water in the morning. And you have a machine. You get your machine. You can monitor your pressure.
Okay.
And know how your pressure runs.
Yeah, we got you. What about?
What about? The pressure pills is not good for you.
What about diet and exercise?
Diet and exercise.
Yeah.
The best thing. You take 3 cloves of ginger, right? You cut it up. You peel it up, right? You put it in the boiling water with parsley, and boil it, and you drink with some turmeric, and a spoonful of black pepper. And that detox all your liver and your kidneys. You boil it, and then you strain it. And then you drink the water in the morning, once a day or once in the night.
that detox all your liver and your kidney.
All right.
Prostate, everything.
Thank you so much.
So write it down, Special Advisor, and that's good for you.
Thank you so much, Natural Doctor. We appreciate it.
Detox everything of your body.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Welcome to Freedom House. Call you live.
Hey, Mr. Bunker. Yes, Mr. Bunker.
No, Shanika.
My point was with the EBT and the Section 8, and I wanted to hear your take on it, sir. Mr. Advisor, you lack tact and you lack diplomacy. You have a blessed day.
Now, Shanika, I didn't cut you off, you know. I'm sorry, Shanika, but I didn't cut you off. I have no controls.
Hello, welcome to Freedom Match.
Welcome.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to the all two gentlemen.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Munker.
Yes, ma'am.
I am one of the eye patients.
Yes.
And I know also that Dr. Dahl is doing some eye surgeries in Nassau. Not at the Princess Margaret Hospital, at a clinic in Nassau. So what happened to Freeport? All of that talk he had about helping the Bahamian people, you know, and I can't see why he can't get if only one of these theaters in the hospital here in Grand Bahama or in Nassau fixed, that we can come up and have our eyes done. So he's looking after Nassau, and he's taking it upon himself and leaving Freeport out. Do you know what it is for us to have to come to Nassau, to pay rent, to find transportation, and only to be told that you can't get an appointment or you don't have an appointment, your appointment was canceled?
I'll speak.
So why are you not saying anything about the clinic in Nassau, what he has opened?
Well, I'm not aware of that clinic, but I'll speak to him about it tomorrow.
Because I got a couple of patients I need to introduce them to.
I'm not.
Well, I would like.
Go ahead.
I would like for you to get in contact with Dr. Darwin and let him know Grand Bahama needs help just like Nassau. So if the Cuban doctors can come to Nassau, why can't he get some come down here?
I didn't know Cuban doctors were in Nassau. When they came?
I don't know, but I was told that there's a clinic that is doing.
Okay, well, it's a secret that was kept from me. I'll ask him tomorrow.
Well, you need to ask him.
Okay.
Because another point I would like to bring to your attention.
Yes?
We give these foreigners permits to come into Bahamas to work. They make all the money in the world, and they will not voluntarily give government some free time to say, well, if your machine ain't working, we can help you. Why the government can't say something about that?
I quite agree with you.
And do you know that to get your eye done down here is over $7,000?
Listen, I know I had to have 2 eyes done, and it was so expensive. It's a good thing that I work here at this studio. Yeah. I know it's very, very expensive. The medication is very, very expensive.
Medicare is expensive.
Okay? So I am quite aware of what you are saying, and we have to continue to complain, and we have to say to the government, they have to find the doctors. Okay?
Thank you so much, Carl.
We need help in Grand Bahama.
Well, I'll have you to know that help and hope are on the way. I will talk to Dr. Dowell if it's God's will tomorrow. Thank you.
Welcome to Freedom March, caller.
Hello?
Yes, sir, caller. You got 30 seconds.
God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, one God, amen?
Amen.
A pleasant good evening to Pleasant Bridgewater.
Yes.
Brother Bunker.
Sir.
Sir, boxer one time ago was to slap you down, right?
That is true. But he
he played for your life and he spared you, right?
That is true.
Okay, boxer's my personal friend. He wouldn't harm you.
Okay.
Only if you come with a violent attitude,
yes,
he puts you into place.
Okay.
He's my buddy.
Okay.
I want a number for boxer because I understand that boxer have a problem.
Okay.
And I want to connect. You can ask a spiritual advisor to give me a number for boxer, or take my number 602-5567 and tell boxer call me, or I call him.
Okay, we'll take your number.
602 what?
602-5567.
Okay.
And what is your name?
God the Father.
Leroy Williamson.
All right.
All right, Leroy
God the
That's
Williamson.
my
Father.
personal friend.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Leroy
God the Father,
Williamson.
God the Son,
All right,
God
thank
the
you,
Spirit.
thank you.
This is powerful.
One God.
Tell, call the number out for.
No, sir. You do that.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor. Give Boxer the number.
Producer, how much more time we got?
Goodness of mercy, you're not
I'm
saved.
not getting in your box of business. 602-5567. But Boxer all the way down in one country trying to get treatment, all right?
No, he's back. You see
back?
Dr. Mendes with him at the airport?
Are you back?
Yes.
All right.
So give him the number.
Call the gentleman Boxer, 602-5567, okay?
Leroy Williamson.
Six
Tell
of them.
everybody in Grand Bahama, if you see Boxer, tell him Leroy Williamson would like for him to make contact with him. Call the number one more time, Ms. Wilson.
602-5567.
602
55
5567.
67.
602 5567. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. God save the Royal Bahamas Police Force. God save Sergeant Ricardo Watts. May he continue to be patriotic and build the police force. Do well, everybody. If it's God's will, tomorrow.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Munker, his guests, and callers on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom